On this episode of Old Pej Diaries, Kenya struggles in the midst of a severe drought.
The impact on people north of us is horrendous.
The rainy seasons have failed for the last few years.
I've worked in Old Pejeta for 22 years, and I've never seen a drought like this.
The river that is Old Pejeta's main lifeline has dried up.
That's the first time in history that river's dried up.
And the animals are beginning to die.
This is becoming a common sight here now, unfortunately.
And the drought is causing more problems in the villages. Cheetah come in looking for easy prey. It's just another busy week at a Kenyan game reserve. Kenya is in the grips of one of the worst droughts in recent times. For several years now, the long rains have failed to come. Much of the country is suffering, and the wildlife is beginning to die. But Old Pejeta Conservancy has been relatively lucky. It benefits from a microclimate from the snow-capped Mount Kenya that brings some rain and a little relief to the area. In times of drought, the Ewaso Ngiro River that runs through the middle of Old Pejeta is a lifeline to the reserve's almost 15,000 animals. But after so much time without rain, the river is drying up.
This is the Ewaso Ngiro River. It comes from Badeas and some tributaries from Mount Kenya. And I've been to Old Pejeta for 22 years, and I've never seen this river drying up like the way it is now. You can see the little water flowing now. This has been released from like a week ago. It's a problem to human and animals. Hopefully once it rains, the problem is gone.
But with the rains predicted to be at least several weeks away, staff fear the worst is still to come. The river has stopped flowing, and the remaining pools are becoming stagnant and will soon dry up.
You know, this is certainly one of the worst droughts we've seen in a long, long time. There's things that are taking place on Old Pej, like our main river drying up. That's the first time in history that river's dried up. The impact on people north of us is horrendous. That's their only water source is gone, and it's gone for a good 6 months until we get proper rains and the water levels are brought back up.
The Ewaso Ngiro River snakes its way through Kenya for 300 kilometers from the slopes of Mount Kenya through the driest and hardest hit regions to the north, eventually ending in Lake Turkana. Normally it supplies 7% of the country's drinking and agricultural water. But halfway through Old Pejeta, the river has run dry.
When the water is very high, you can see the level of the water. That's when there is no rain. Always the water reaches here. In the wet season, actually, even you can't cross the river. You can't cross the river. It's very high, up and also goes out on the sides.
It's not only the Ewaso River that has been crippled by the drought, but also the famed Mara River to the south. This is the time of year when one of the most famous spectacles in nature should be taking place. Normally, over 1 million wildebeest migrate north from Tanzania's Serengeti to cross the treacherous Mara River into Kenya. This year, the river is so low, the wildebeest could walk across it. But the plains that should be full of wildebeest, as far as the eye can see, is a parched wasteland, and the wildebeest never arrived.
We're lucky. You know, Old Pejeta generally is a high rainfall area compared to the rest of the Laikipia ecosystem. We're probably the better of most places within the area. We're starting to lose a little bit of wildlife now, but that's going to happen. And we won't lose the numbers that other places are starting to.
One of Old Pejeta's major advantages right now is that it is part cattle ranch. Because of that, it has a network of pipes that feed water troughs scattered throughout the reserve that can also be used by the wildlife. Each day, most of the animals make their way to the troughs, each taking their turn in this new ritual of survival. Both giraffe and zebra are able to cope well despite their large size, and smaller antelope can easily find enough substance.
You know, in a drought year like this, it's the bulk grazers, the buffalo, the hippo, that are being most affected. There's just been no recovery of our whole system for nearly a year now. And there just isn't the nutrients, there isn't the grass, there isn't anything there for the wildlife. And to single out a species that's being hit hardest in this drought is buffalo. And it's the young and old. Luckily, we've got a big enough population there that we can sustain. And if we lose 20%, we lose 20%. It's never going to do any harm. It's just not nice to sit back and watch wildlife struggling as much as they are now.
In the past few weeks, the rangers who patrol the Conservancy have become used to seeing several buffalo so weak they can barely stand up.
The rangers has found a very weak buffalo which is unable to walk or wake. So that's what we are going to see right now.
This buffalo is an old male, nearing the natural end of his life. Unable to find any grass to feed on, he retreats to the shade of the bushes and will slowly fade away. It is easy to spot weak buffalo. Buffalo are one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. Normally, they are very aggressive and at close range would certainly charge the rangers. But without the energy, this one avoids confrontation and slowly retreats.
Yeah, that buffalo actually, the one we have seen right now, it's going to die. Definitely it's going to die. You see it's very weak, able to wake up maybe in 3-4 days time. It will definitely die.
Just 100 meters away, there is another buffalo. This time, the animal is dead.
This is a dead buffalo. It's because of the drought. See, we don't have grass, we don't have rain for quite long. The carcass is for like 3 days now, up to 3 days now. And we have many around the place. Hyenas, jackals, and all that actually are very happy now. They're eating a lot of food.
You know, whenever there's something negative in nature, there's always going to be something positive. And that positive is our predator numbers are on the increase. In a year that wildlife is suffering like this, the hyena, the lion, the leopard, there is so many weak animals out there. The survival rate of those predators, young, is going to be huge.
Kenya has been in the grips of severe drought for several years. The rainy seasons have consistently failed, and the country's fertile lands are turning to dust. In the drought, Old Pejeta Conservancy has a major advantage. The wildlife reserve is next to the snow-capped Mount Kenya. Old Pejeta benefits from the rains off the mountain, but on its own, that rain is not enough. After such a long dry spell, the main river that flows through the reserve has dried up, and the grasslands have turned to dust. Without grass to graze on, the reserve's buffalo are the most affected and have begun to die in increasing numbers. But nature has its own balance. With so many weakened animals around, the predators are benefiting, and the numbers have increased, not only in Old Pejeta, but also in the community lands next to the reserve. There, the cheetah numbers have been increasing without any major conflicts until now. A group of 4 brothers have been attacking and eating village sheep.
That family of cheetah have been out in the community certainly for a year and a half, and there have been no problems up until about 2 months ago. My guess is it's effects of drought, limited numbers of wildlife, increased human presence within that area. It's an area of relatively high rainfall compared to the rest of Laikipia, so at dry times you are getting increased livestock coming into that area.
The cheetah are hunting in a stretch of community land on the western side of the reserve. The plan is to use rangers to push them along the boundary fence and into the reserve.
You know, we have a special relationship with that community, and it's not one-sided traffic. They help us out with a huge amount of stuff, and we help them, and we're in a position to help them. And it's more a partnership than anything else.
The job of finding cheetah goes to Old Pejeta's predator expert, Stephen Saipan, better known by his nickname Duma, the Swahili word for cheetah. Over the years, Stephen has worked closely with communities to ensure the cheetah are protected. While cheetah are not on the endangered list, they are listed as vulnerable because of the loss of habitat and fragmentation of their populations. By working with the communities, Stephen is able to limit conflict with the animals. And when problems come up, Old Pejeta deals with them quickly. One way Old Pejeta helps the community is by maintaining water supplies, which are crucial in times of drought. On his way to the village, Stephen notices something wrong and stops to investigate. These villagers are heading to a water tank further in the reserve. They tell him that the one closest to them is not working properly. Stephen goes to check it out.
They'll send some guys to come and clean. They'll fill water through this pipe because it seems it's not now bringing water here.
Old Pejeta will send a person to fix the pump and drain the stagnant water. After that, he'll refill it with fresh water.
What are we going to do? We will walk towards where I saw them yesterday and search for that area. If we find them, we let the people around there know that there are cheetahs around there so that they don't take the animals towards the cheetahs and push them into Old Pejeta where they are safe.
He heads out early, just after sunrise, to avoid the village herdsmen who will bring their livestock into the area to graze by mid-afternoon. But Stephen has his work cut out for him. Cheetah are shy and rarely ever seen. The community area is over 50 square kilometers, and finding them will be a challenge. Luckily, Stephen saw them the previous day while driving along the perimeter fence, so he knows roughly where to start looking. Cheetah leave tracks, and knowing where to start looking for those tracks is a big help.
Cheetah tracks. The print is sort of sharp at the tip. It's not round like lions and leopards. Here we will find a high point and try to look up there if we can spot them.
These tracks are too old to follow, so Stephen keeps looking, confident the cheetah are still in the area. Around a water trough, he finds tracks of another one of Africa's rare predators, the endangered African wild dog. The fact there is a pack living here near one of the village's grazing areas is a good sign, showing the community's commitment to conservation. Stephen continues to scan the terrain and throughout the day will walk over 40 kilometers. Like any good detective, he looks for clues and talks to potential witnesses. He alerts the villagers in the area where he thinks the cheetah are hanging out and makes sure they have his cell number. Most Africans have cell phones, and he's hoping that someone will call him the moment they spot one of the problem animals.
They have eaten about 5 sheep here, just here around. They have also eaten others there down to the borehole, so we know that they are within here. And it was during daytime, so we expect them to do whatever is necessary.
Peter is quick to point out it's a two-way street.
So we also protect the wildlife here because we know that they do give a lot of money. They do assist us very much in conservation, in water, and other affairs, and also by giving bursaries to our children. So the cooperation we have is very good.
Old Pejeta is at the southern end of Kenya's Laikipia region. It's made up of almost 50 ranches, community lands, and wildlife reserves. Old Pejeta's location next to Mount Kenya is a real advantage. It benefits from a microclimate that brings some rain. To the north, other ranches are not so lucky. One that has been particularly hit hard is Old Jogi. It has not had any significant rainfall in a year. All the grass is either dead or has been eaten, and the buffalo are dying in the hundreds. Batian's counterpart at Old Jogi is game warden Jamie Gamer. He has never seen a drought this severe.
This is becoming a common sight here now, unfortunately. A lot of buffalo dying, a lot of other animals dying as well, a few zebra, a few impala. Again, like I said, predominantly the grazers at the moment are being the most affected.
Out of sheer desperation, Jamie is feeding the wild animals. Normally, buffalo are dangerous and can be extremely aggressive. But now, each day they gather and wait patiently for their lunch to arrive. Bales of hay are loaded onto a tractor and driven out to several spots for the buffalo.
We've got about 450 buffalo, which are probably being most affected by the drought. We're feeding about 375 bales of hay a week at the moment, which just seems to be keeping them going. We're desperate for rain now.
As soon as the noise of the tractor can be heard in the distance, the buffalo become restless. Without food rations, it's likely that many of them would die before the rains come. The rangers set to work, spreading the bales. Once ready, the buffalo move in.
You can obviously see them coming running in when they hear the tractor, but this particular herd seems to be solely reliant on this hay now. They don't seem to leave this area at all, and they just wait for the sound of that tractor coming in with the hay. We hear from weather forecasters that we might be able to expect El Niño, a phenomenon that we tend to encounter here about every 10 years, and generally means high rainfall over the next few months. Arguably too much rainfall. But to be honest with you, any rainfall will be good here right now.
Old Jogi is one of the conservancies carefully working to preserve the species, and so the loss of even one is a serious setback. A typical white rhino will spend half its day eating and can consume between 60 to 80 kilograms of grass in one day.
Like the buffalo, these white rhino are also bulk grazers and are being heavily affected obviously by the drought. Most of them are not actually going out and looking for alternative graze. They're just hanging around here, like the buffalo waiting for the hay to be brought.
The effects of a major drought in Kenya is having a big impact on communities outside of the reserve, where wildlife and village livestock share the land. After a difficult 3-day search, Old Pejeta's predator expert Stephen Saipan has found 4 problem cheetah that have been killing sheep in the community lands. The plan now is to use 25 rangers to push the cats into the reserve, where they will be relatively safe. But more importantly, they will be kept away from the community.
The cheetahs are just near the fence. Yeah, we are trying to deploy rangers on high points to get a few of the cheetahs if they pop out into the plains. And after we make an extended line and try to push them towards Sirima. Wambogo. Okay, mtu ingine hapa. Ndonga. Hapa. Ya kila mtu sasa tuendelee. Imefika mwisho. Okay, now we are beginning.
The rangers will walk in an extended line behind the cheetah and make lots of noise to drive them towards the fence. Once they get them close to the fence, the rangers will cut out a hole so the cheetah can cross into the reserve. However, when cheetah are chased like this, they can also go into a defensive mode. They'll lay still under the bushes where it is unlikely they'll be seen, so the rangers throw rocks to startle the cheetahs out of hiding. Lookouts in the trees keep track of the cheetah's progress. As the cheetah gets closer, the rangers cut the fence and pull back out of sight so the animals can go through. Two cheetah bolt, breaking through the rangers' line and away from the fence. But the rangers manage to keep two near the opening. Everyone settles in to wait, and after a couple of hours, the cheetah casually walk through the gap into Old Pejeta. A couple of weeks later, the rangers repeat the operation, and the final two cheetah are successfully pushed into the safety of the conservancy. In the coming days, to the relief of both the human and animal residents, Old Pejeta will see signs of rain. But it still could be many more weeks before the rains are sufficient enough to end the drought. There is still talk of an El Niño building in the Pacific, which could bring extremely heavy rains to Kenya. If that hits, there will be water, but also severe flooding and inevitably more loss of life. For now, everyone watches the clouds with anticipation and hope.